Welcome back to Kat's Kitchen. My name is Kat, and today I'm going to show you how to make the Starbucks brown sugar oat milk cortado at home. If you're not familiar with this drink, it's a new drink at Starbucks, and it is delicious. Very, very, very good. One of my absolute favorite menu items. First being the brown sugar oat milk shake and espresso, which this is basically the exact same drink, just in a hot coffee form. Ingredients you will need, number one being a brown sugar syrup. This is liquid gold. If you have not tried this homemade recipe, I urge you to go grab the ingredients. You need dark brown sugar, water, salt, and vanilla extract. I will link the recipe in the description. So good, so good. If you don't want to make your own, you can use the Torani brown sugar cinnamon syrup. I know lots of people don't like that and they say it tastes like Fireball and the super strong cinnamon flavor. Make the homemade one. It's very good. Tastes just like the Starbucks one, if not better. So you need brown sugar syrup. You need oat milk. I have this one by Better Goods. I like this one. I get it from Walmart. I also like the Oatly Barista Edition or the Chobani Extra Creamy. Those are my favorite oat milks. You want an extra creamy or like a barista style one so it foams really nicely or steams really nicely. They need some cinnamon. And then for the espresso, because this is an espresso-based beverage, Starbucks uses 3 shots of blonde espresso and the ristretto shots. Ristretto in Italian means restricted. So the espresso in this recipe, they're restricted espresso shots. Meaning usually when you pull an espresso shot or a double shot of espresso, you want the extraction time to be about 25 to 35 seconds. So from the moment you push start on the machine, let the espresso brew out, and then the machine, cuts off, that should be about 25 to 35 seconds. With a ristretto shot, you're cutting that extraction time short, so it's less time, and you're aiming for like 15 to 25 seconds. The beginning 15 to 25 seconds of an espresso shot is very concentrated, very rich, full-bodied coffee. So you're gonna get a really strong, highly concentrated shot of espresso, and you get 3 of those at Starbucks. 3 ristretto shots, and they use their blonde espresso, meaning their light roast coffee beans. So if you did want to make ristretto shots at home, you would need an espresso machine. You would brew a double shot of espresso, and for a ristretto shot, you want a 1-to-1 ratio of coffee to espresso. So if you put 18 grams of beans into the machine, you want 18 grams of espresso liquid output. Should take about 15 to 25 seconds. You would do that for a double shot, and then you would need to pull a single shot. So add in 9 grams, brew your espresso, and stop it once you get to 9 grams of liquid output. So then you'd have a triple shot of ristretto espresso. I am going to show this process using a Nespresso machine, because that's what most people own, and it's also just an easier process than going through the whole 2 rounds of espresso with an espresso machine. If you want to use an espresso machine, absolutely go for it. I'm using Nespresso. Today I have the Nespresso Virtuo Plus is my machine. Some good options. Number 1 being the Orafio pods. Orafio, I like these a lot. They're not terribly roasty. I wouldn't say they're quite a blonde espresso. They're a little bit more medium roast, but very good. And they're a single shot pod, which is what I'm gonna use today. So instead of 3 ristretto shots, I'm just gonna use 3 regular single shots of espresso of the Orafio ones. Another really, really good option would be the Starbucks blonde espresso. Those would be phenomenal. They're also a single shot pod. They are blonde roast. I just don't have any, so we're using Orafio today. But you can use the Starbucks blonde. You can get them at Target for I think just a pack of 10, or you can go on Amazon for a pack of 50. 50 is a lot to commit to. Another fabulous option, I also really like the Peru Organic. These also are more of a medium-ish roast. This is a 6 out of a scale of 11. But they're also a single shot pod. These are organic. They're not too dark and roasty, so I like those as another option. You can even use the double espresso dolce. Double espresso dolce, I do think is a good light blonde roast flavor. They're really sweet, similar to the Starbucks blonde roast espresso. These are a double shot pod, so I recommend using 2 of these. If you're gonna use a double shot pod, use 2. Technically 4 shots of espresso, I know, it's fine. It's fine. A little bit stronger taste to accommodate for that ristretto flavor in the Starbucks Cortado. Last option is the Ristretto Intenso pod. Nespresso does have a ristretto option. So these babies are 0.845 ounces. The single shot ones are 1.35. The double shots are 2.7. This one is 0.845. So again, it's like half-ish of a regular shot of espresso, meaning it's a lot more intense, a lot more concentrated, and very, very little liquid. I would say absolutely go for these since they're the only ristretto option available on the Nespresso website, but they are a dark roast. The recipe at Starbucks calls for blonde roast espresso. These are dark, like as dark as you can get. They're literally a 12 out of 12 on the roast scale. They taste very burnt. So if you like the light, sweet flavor of a blonde roast, you might not like this dark roast. It's very intense, okay? But they do have a ristretto option. You can use 3 of these and it would be similar to Starbucks, just not light roast espresso. So I'm going to brew 3 of the Orafio pods today. You can use any single shot, double shot, ristretto shot you want. I'm just gonna brew these really quickly and then we will continue on with the recipe. And actually, while that is brewing, I am gonna go steam my milk. I have the Ninja Cafe Luxe and I love that it can steam milk without me having to hold on to the actual jug. So that's what I'm gonna do, okay? That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go plug it in and steam it. I want 5 ounces of oat milk. So I have my scale just to make sure it's accurate. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ounces. I'm gonna steam the milk, brew the pods, and we'll be right back. Espresso has been brewed and milk has been steamed. So to assemble the drink, you need your 3 shots of espresso and then 1 tablespoon of brown sugar syrup. Starbucks says 2 pumps on their bottles, but it's about a tablespoon or so. My absolute favorite syrup, did I mention that already? 5 ounces of steamed oat milk. Gorgeous, gorgeous girl. If you don't have the Ninja Cafe Luxe, that's okay. Use a steam one on an espresso machine. You can use the Nespresso Aerochino, that electric milk frother. Add your oat milk, push the hot setting. Keurig also has one. You could even just warm milk up in the microwave or on the stove and then use a handheld milk frother like this one. Use a handheld milk frother to just kind of froth, get it bubbly. Then some cinnamon on top. Dun, dun, dun. Gorgeous, gorgeous girly. And there is your homemade Starbucks brown sugar oat milk cortado. So beautiful. Let's try it. Love the flavor combo. I love oat milk and brown sugar syrup together. Add some cinnamon. Love. Even though these technically aren't the ristretto blonde shots, still so good. Seriously, so good. I also wanted to mention that a typical cortado, like if you were to go to a coffee shop and order a cortado, it'd be a little bit different than this beverage. A traditional cortado is equal parts espresso and steamed milk. A double shot of espresso is usually about 2.5 ounces. So it's 2.5 ounces of espresso and 2.5 ounces of steamed milk for a 5-ounce beverage. 5-ish ounce beverage. This is about 11 ounces of liquid, 10 to 11. So Starbucks technically is not making a cortado. They're calling this a cortado. It's not a traditional one. It is close to it because currently it's like a 1-to-3 ratio of espresso to steamed milk rather than a traditional cortado is 1-to-1. So not terrible, not exactly a cortado. Just want to let you know that if you go to another coffee shop and order a cortado, you're not gonna get the same thing. It's gonna be much stronger espresso flavor, much, much, much stronger. So just keep that in mind. But this is a cool step for Starbucks to have a more coffee forward beverage. And so I think if you like a stronger coffee taste, like maybe you usually add extra espresso for your Starbucks drinks, this is a fun one to try and definitely a fun one to make at home. If you've tried this drink at Starbucks or you have made your own at home, let me know what you think. Thank you so, so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it and learned how to make your own Starbucks brown sugar oat milk cortado at home. Let me know if you have any questions and I will see you in the next video. Mwah. Got a blast.